Hello, guys, and welcome back to Anything Goes with Sania and Leah. We are on episode 22, which actually, funnily enough, is the same number as my age. So that works pretty well in that case. Just to stab the knife in Leah a little bit more about my
I
age.
always forget you're 22. I always think we're the same age. I can't
We
believe you're
actually,
22. Like, what the hell?
I am 23 this year, though.
I know, but I just think, God, when I was 22, I'd literally just finished uni and had no clue what I was doing.
You know what though? Like people always ask me, people always say the same thing. Can't believe you're 22. However, like since the age of 15, like my family have always been pretty poor. Like they're still poor. Like that like my dad's got PTSD. He's ex-army man. He's got pension, ship army pension, may I add. So like we've always never really had much money. So at the age of 15, when I could I had a bit more time on my hands. I've always worked and I've
Right, yeah.
always earned money, and like the money that I earned went into like things like your parents would buy, like clothes, tampons,
Yeah.
like I had to buy everything for myself, and then he just pay for food and stuff just because of how little money. So like I feel like the reason why I'm the way that I am at the age of 22 is because I've already got like 7 years worth of working and
Yeah.
grafting under my belt.
Had to let grow up really quickly, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly that. So it's like people are, how are you like
Oh,
this, blah blah, and I'm like, I've just had to earn money my whole life. Like I've
yeah.
had to earn, like it's not where it's like I can go, oh dad, can I have £20 to go shopping? No. If I needed to go shopping, I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
to earn that money.
Yeah,
So
you do
that
act a lot older than your age.
huh?
You do act a lot older than your age. Not a bad thing, but
It isn't, although I'm not looking forward to turning 23 because I feel like,
oh,
you know what, I
shut
love
up.
21. No, but do you know why, right? The reason why I love 21 is because everyone, even though you're still slightly shocked, everyone was like, you're 21. And I'm like, yeah, 21. Like, what age do I act? Like 25? And they'll be like, yeah, I thought you were way older. But I feel
Yeah.
like the older you get, the more you act your age. So like the older I get, when I turn 23, I'll be more like they'll expect me more to act the way that I already act. Do you get me?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So like I won't be deemed as like older than my age.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
So it's like fuck, I don't want to turn 23 because I feel like 23, 24 is when you have to start acting like an adult.
Nah, I feel like you're all right until you're 30.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like you can get away with stuff until you're like 30, then you're like proper adult.
Okay, fair enough, fair
Because
enough.
I'm in my 20s, like I'm still 20, it's fine.
Yeah, true. But do you know what? Me and Reese were actually speaking about this the other day. And he was like, fucking hell, like I'm 25 this year. He was like, I'm halfway to 30. He was like, I've reached my peak. I'm at my peak of 20. And he was like, I was like, it's funny how we think of like coming to 30 as a bad thing
Yeah,
because we haven't even like at our age now, we haven't even lived like 3/4 of our life if we live up to 80.
yeah.
Do you know
And
what I
30
mean?
is still
So
so young, right?
I
Like,
know. Like it's mad that we all
young,
get scared of
sadly.
it. But then he was like, "Yeah, but my quality of life." And I was like, "Yeah, but look at your granddad. His granddad is fit as ever, goes cycling 2 times. You
Yeah.
wouldn't even know his age. Like you'd look at him and you go, "You're 20 years younger." And I'm
Mm.
like, if you actually live like a really good lifestyle, you look after yourself, like maybe after 30-ish,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
obviously with bodybuilding it's kind
Mhm.
of hard. Your quality of life is elongated. So it's
Yeah,
like,
and also, like, when you're 30, you've got your shit together, you're like kind of settled down a bit, you like saved a bit of money.
that's when
So,
life starts.
yeah, I think 30s is like, Will's 30 in January. So,
Exciting. You know what? Like, I feel like once I get to 30, I'll love 30.
yeah.
But it's the steps towards
Yeah,
it.
I know
Where
what you
you're like,
mean.
I want to be a kid still. Like, I
Yeah, that's
want
the
to be.
stage I'm in like now, and I'm like, oh God, I'm rapidly approaching.
But I feel like a lot of people do say is like a lot of 40-year-old women say your life actually starts when you're 40. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, but I personally would probably say your life starts when you're 30 because generally that's where your 20s, if you've done your 20s well, like you're sort of sorted, you're
Yeah.
sort of got your shit together, and then 30s like, right, now I'm settling. Now I'm
Yes. Yeah,
figuring
yeah,
out what direction I want. So I've still got 8 years to sort my shit out, which is perfect because I feel like I need another decade.
yeah. Brilliant. Oh, God.
Great
Anyway, welcome to the
introduction there.
podcast. Hope you enjoyed today's intro on aging.
Yes, guys. So if you are at that age, please don't worry. You're absolutely fine.
There's probably people that are thinking to this, thinking, what are they on about? Like, because I bet there's some people that are like in their 40s maybe that listen to this.
And they're like, they're so young. And we're like, oh my God, I'm getting so old. But you're never happy though, are you? You're never satisfied.
No.
But I swear to God, if I look my age at 40, I'll be pissed. Because I have so many clients who are like, they go to me like, yeah, I'm like 45. And I'm like, fuck off. How are you 45? Like,
Good skincare.
good skincare, Botox. It's gonna you, and also staying out of the sun, put in SPF on your face even if it's not sunny,
I
apparently.
do wear Factor 50 on my face every day.
Yeah, you should, because it's protects your skin from damage and stuff.
Yeah.
Look, we're
Thanks.
just touching our face now, like, are we aging?
Anyway,
So,
do
topic
an
of
update.
today's podcast. Yeah, we just wanted to do like a little update because we are sorry, guys, we didn't have a podcast film for last week. I'll hands up and say that's entirely my fault because
How dare you go on holiday?
how dare I go on holiday and not take an hour out of my time to do a podcast. To be fair, there were moments where I was like, I could have literally filmed the podcast, but then like we've said in previous podcasts, you do just need that time of doing sweet fuck all.
Yeah, you needed to go and have a break. Like you've just finished prep, like you've had a massive business launch. Like I think you're all right having a bit of a break.
Thanks, Leah. I appreciate that.
I'll let you have a week
I'll
off
let you have it off.
every now and then.
Oh, fucking hell. Should we actually, before we like including in the update, should we tell them how we Anything Goes is potentially going to be leveling up?
Yes, an exciting update.
Do you want to tell them? You can tell them good
Ooh.
news.
Okay, so we on Sunday are going to be trialing out a studio, a podcast studio
Oi,
in
oi.
Birmingham to see
Woohoo.
how it goes. And if it goes well, we've potentially got some guests coming on. So we're going to be starting doing some guest speaker episodes in the new studio, which is going to be really cool. So you'll get an upgrade from our Zoom podcast recordings.
You know what? It'll be really good because I feel like it will be more of a chat then. Like it will be more of like where
We're
we're
actually seeing each other.
exactly. And also like the YouTube, if you watch this, it will be better because you're actually seeing us in the same room. The mic, the quality of the microphone will be a lot better. Fingers crossed. So yeah, really, really exciting. However, the only downfall is we are going to be bulk recording the sessions. So instead of getting like weekly updates of like my off season or Leah's prep, you will be getting updates once every 3 weeks.
Mhm.
However, we've kind of worked out where we'll do like one podcast is like a prep off season update, just like an update
Yeah,
on our life.
the chill one.
Exactly, like a nice, like little chatty, gossipy one. And then the second one would be a topic, and then the third one would be a guest.
Yeah.
So give us a message on what guests you want,
Yes.
and what topics you want us to kind of film. And we can like get a schedule kind of made up so
Yeah.
you guys know what's coming out.
And maybe we can put a Q&A on Instagram as well to see like what guests people want to have on.
Yeah, we'll do that actually. We'll pop that on just our personal ones and see what we get.
Yes, exciting.
But no, I'm so
Amazing.
excited for it because I feel like we've got like I think we've got like over 500 listeners throughout
Yeah.
all the platforms. So we've reached a massive milestone because I remember we were so excited when we got to like 200.
Yeah.
And we've like doubled it already. So like it is growing and
Yeah.
we just thought, we might as well invest because at the moment we're only investing our time. So we thought, why not just invest some money into it and give you a better quality podcast and then hopefully we can grow some more from there. So that'd be
And
cool.
also it's going to be such a fun day trip.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
I just have to record my podcast.
Exactly. It's more of like an event rather than it's like get out of bed, brush my hair, brush my teeth. Hello, Leah, how you doing?
So fun. I'm so excited.
So yeah,
And also I love going into Birmingham and like I quite like Birmingham. I feel like it's leveled up quite a lot. So
I do like Birmingham. I mean, I'm there almost every day anyway, but it also means that me and you can spend a little bit more time like actually together because I feel like we're like really, really close friends, but we spend like we see each other every week, but
We
spend
see each other for business and that's it.
yeah, literally. So it'll be nice because every now and then we can kind of like get a training session, and also that might mean that we have like more YouTube content coming out together.
That's a good idea, actually. We can do some training YouTube collaby stuff, which will be really cool.
Exactly. So that would be exciting because I don't have a training partner and I never ever really train with anyone. So I'm like, I feel like this off season, I really want to like take advantage of like having friends who train because I feel like I don't do that enough.
Yes. And that leads us on to our second update, which I'm excited to hear about.
Oh, yeah.
We were
Okay.
talking about this, and then we were like, no, let's talk about it on the podcast. So I haven't heard this either. Well, obviously I know it, but I haven't heard the details. So I'm excited.
So yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, you have like a maybe a bit of like a you'll have a bit of an you'll kind of if you've looked into it, you'll know. I've actually changed coaches. I am now coached by Meg Sylvester. Now, I do just want to put out there before anyone says anything or questions or anything like that. Me and Tom are still on really, really good terms. Like, he is still one of my closest friends. It has nothing to do with anything that in the past. It's purely based off the reason for the move was purely based off the fact that me and Tom got too close. We've been together 4 years. I feel like both of our accountabilities for each other just kind of diminished because of how close we got. So it was like one of those things where I didn't feel accountable to him because he wasn't my coach, he was my friend. And then likewise, I'm assuming mostly because I'm his friend, you obviously like don't view me as a client anymore. So the line was just
Lines got
very
blurred.
much, yeah, got too merged. And I looked back on my off season last time and you could see that I was being a bit of like a shit, not a shit client, but just, like I didn't feel much accountability. But not to mention, I am really focusing on my training this off season, and I feel like Meg specializes more towards that. Rather than Tom. I feel like Tom specializes towards more like advanced athletes who already coach and know their training. Whether with me, I like people always view me and think, "Oh, you must know so much stuff," and I'm like, "No, I really don't. I just follow what's needed." So there is no beef. There is no like back noise where it's like, oh my God, you and Tom have fallen out. That's not the
Yeah.
case. It's literally, we've literally just grown up, not grown apart because we're still quite close. We've just grown. I'm
In
a
separate directions with the
Yeah,
coaching.
exactly that. Like I'm probably not the type of client he goes for now. Like I need something more from a coach in the off season. So it's like it was really mutual. And I tell you what, I was messaging Leah before I told Tom the news, and I was literally like, Leah, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
Help me. I was so stressed
I've
because
never seen you nervous in my life before that.
honestly, I just didn't know how to do it because, like I was saying to you, I was like, apart from my close friend Katie, at the age of like, I've known her for 12, 13 years. He's my
Yeah.
second longest relationship. I've been with him 4 years. I've known him longer than Reese. I've known him longer than Beth. Like, known him longer than anyone else in this industry that I'm still talking to. So I was like, this is going to be rough. But he was actually okay. I was
Yeah,
worried.
it's quite an nerve-wracking thing though to do, I think.
It's just hard because you don't want it like because you still want to remain on that like contact. I still want to have contact with him. I still want
Yeah.
to be friends with him. So it's like, God, I really hope that me leaving doesn't, because you
Yes.
never know. Someone could take that. Like, I know some coaches who like literally hate on their client just because they've left them for like no
Yeah.
particular reason, and I'm just like, oh shit.
I don't think Tom's like that though.
No, but yeah, so I've moved on to Meg, which I'm so excited about. So what do you want to know? Like what is it that you
I
want
just want to know, like, so you've got your plan, like,
to
what's it like? How was it sent? What are you going to be working on? I'm just
Okay.
interested.
So the good thing about Meg is basically I said to her, obviously me and Reese train a lot together as well, but she kind of, as soon as I told her my split, she was like, right, okay, so not really much of the training is personalized towards you. It's more so directed on what Reese is doing that day.
What split were you doing before then?
So I was doing so I'm doing the same split, but it was the exercise selections
Right,
that were
okay.
like, yeah, you're doing a lot of quad stuff when in reality we want to be doing like I sent her training videos as well, and she was like, yeah, this needs like a lot of work because you can see that you're more quad focus throughout the
Yeah.
exercises, purely based off the fact that you probably haven't sent over form videos, but also because you're following what Reese does.
Mm.
So at the moment I'm doing 4 times per week at the moment, which will most likely change to maybe like 5, depending on recovery post show and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and if I can like recover and stuff. So I'm doing Sunday, Monday off. I'm doing Tuesday legs, which is like all of my leg sessions are like glute and hamstring focused.
Yeah.
So I've like looked at them and I'm like, there's not really any day that's like a leg day. It's more so like glute and ham focus with a bit of quad, like a
Right.
little
Okay. Yeah.
bit of quad, if that makes sense. Because even though like, because my quads are my strongest part of my legs, so it's like if we want to grow, if we're trying to grow your glutes and hamstrings, but then we're growing your quads at the same time, you're just always gonna look quad
Yeah.
dominant. And yeah, and we don't for bikini, we don't really need that much more growth from your quads, maybe a tad, but like nothing too much. Yeah. So lower Tuesday, Wednesday is upper, and I feel like we're being more delt focused. So I've never, so even though Tom has sheets, I never use sheets. He didn't have like a daily, he does now. He's recently brought it in. But he never had like a check-in thing. Does that
Right. Yeah.
make sense? So like a check-in sheet. So like with Meg's, she's got daily schedule which I have to fill out, which is basically telling her like my schedule, what I do every day of the week. So when I wake up, what I'm
Yeah.
doing, when I'm eating, and I'm eating 6 times. Sorry, I'm just jumping. This is so much
Oh no,
information.
it's fine. I'm interested.
Um, so I'm having 6 meals per day now,
Yeah.
because of me post show. I'm finding that I am a snacker, like I'm a
Yeah.
serial snacker. So she's basically made my meals smaller, but I'm
Right.
eating
Yeah.
6 times per day plus 300 calories.
Oh, that's good. So you've still got like some free calories in there.
Yeah, so still 3 calories in it because I said to her, I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I've been kind of sticking to plan, but I've also been going over my 3 calories because by the time it comes to my 3 calories, like I'm starving.
Yeah.
So
Is
I
she
was
putting
like,
food up or?
so she's kept my food pretty much the same because where I haven't been sticking, like my food's pretty high. So my food currently, let me get it up for you.
Got the calories on it and stuff?
Yeah, so in my off season, I don't mind that. But let me double check. Sorry, I'm just still trying to figure out.
Maneuvering it.
Yeah. Okay, so on a training day, I'm on 2,450 calories.
Yeah.
So that works out to be 330 grams of carbs. I'm on a lot of protein. Tom put me on a lot of protein post show. I think that was just like
Yeah.
recovery
That was
purposes.
satiety and stuff.
And satiety, yeah, yeah. For 190 grams of protein and then 40 grams of fat. So
Okay.
that's training day. And then rest day is 2,170 calories, which is 185 grams of protein, 240 grams of carbs, and then 52 grams of fat. And then obviously,
Got your
I,
free calories on top of
I think, yeah, my free cows are on top of that.
that. Okay, so you're in a pretty decent spot food wise.
So yeah, I definitely think I'm over maintenance. So like I feel like I just need to stick to this and I
Yeah.
actually need to talk to myself and say, Sanaya, we need to actually know what this food is,
And what it's doing as
what
well.
it's doing exactly. So now I'm back on holiday. I'm not deviated, like I'm like
You're on it.
I'm on it kind of thing. Like I feel like I've had my little spiraling moment, which I actually don't feel fat. I'm
No,
just
no. You
struggling
can
to
still see
see.
like your shoulders and stuff.
I just, it's just the weight on the scale. You just struggle to see that. But then I
Yeah,
look at myself visually and I'm like, I've still got like a flat stomach. Like I still
yeah,
look good. It's just the number. Oh
yeah,
my God, it's the number on the scales. It's the only thing that sends me sideways.
yeah. It does
Um,
a lot of people, I think.
it's mental because like you visually you can look at yourself and go, oh, I look pretty good. And then you
Yeah,
jump on the scale and you're like, I'm fat. And you're like, it's literally seconds between each other. It's
yeah.
just mental. Um, but yeah, my food's currently at that. I'm training 4 times per week.
Bit lower upper the split then. What glutes?
So
What's
yeah, so my split, it's basic. Oh, hold on. I'm struggling. Oh, I'm just not used to sheets. Like honestly, I'm not used to sheets. So we've got upper, which is more so like just upper session. So it's
right?
just like upper session. So some lat pull downs, some rows, some delt work, and then we've got more of like upper two, which again is more based around my delts, which is more
Yeah.
like delts focused, like from looking at it. And
Mm.
then my legs one is pretty much glute focused because it's hip thrust, glute focus, Smith squat, split squat, high and narrow leg press, seated leg curl, RDL, and glute kickback. So
Yeah, very glute heavy.
very glute heavy. And then legs two is glute med kickback. So I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna have to figure out what the hell that is. RDL, but this is with a barbell instead of a dumbbell. So it was a single leg RDL for the first set.
Okay, yeah.
Um, then hip thrust again, split squats again, dumbbell reverse hyperextension, lying leg curl, and abductor. So there's literally like the only
Pretty all
quad,
ones.
yeah, the only
Yeah.
quad that I have is from the leg press, even though that's high and narrow, so that's still glute and ham.
Yeah, it's still not much knee flexion, is it?
So I'm
That's
just trying to think, is there anything out? Yeah, so there's like literally pretty much no quad.
exciting though.
I am excited because I actually like doing glute and ham work. Like there are obviously I have split squats and I have a Smith squat, but that's glute focused.
Pippi. Sorry, the window cleaner is outside and Pip's having a meltdown. Pippi, shush.
Hey, buddy.
Everyone wants to hear you barking. Okay, I know. Probably
So
cleaning the
cute.
windows.
So cute. But yeah, so like that's literally like this is whether my session my training plan before was basically just like legs, upper.
Sorry, you're barking at the flipping window cleaner. Let me just put it on the floor.
That's okay, don't worry.
Sorry, guys.
Technical difficulty. This won't be happening.
Difficulty is the dog is barking.
Um, but yeah, so now it's more like it's more focused towards what I need to bring up, which
Yeah.
we've noticed I just hold a severe amount of fat on my lower body. Like you see a lot of women who hold fat on their lower body, but not like, hi, Will.
Hello,
We're just doing the podcast.
our podcast.
Hi, podcast. um, and we also we're thinking of basically running an off season until for about 20 weeks
Okay.
and depending on if I'm mentally ready to diet again, what she basically wants to do is she wants to almost do like a prep without competing, which gives me a bit of anxiety, in the sense of she said we just need to train your lower body to get lean.
Right, okay.
She was basically like it would be really obviously I want to go through a diet with you prior to prep anyway, like 2025 is when I'd be looking to compete. That's just a number. If I need to go in longer, I'll go longer if I need to, or if I'm ready earlier, I'll do that. But she was like, it would be good to kind of just see how make your lower body come in a little bit more and just have a bit of like, obviously I've got my own kind of ideas on how I diet, and Tom obviously had all of my, like, he knew my body inside out, but now she almost needs to learn it alongside. She obviously we need to do something different because my last prep I just didn't have enough muscle. I didn't get lean enough for my shows. In my opinion, I definitely could have been a lot leaner for absolutely every single one of my shows. So it's almost like one of those things that it's like, right, do we need to be more aggressive at the start? How much cardio do we need?
Type thing.
Exactly. And it's like just learning and like me giving her the feedback I think needs to be done to her, then
Yeah.
getting it. But also to see if we've actually built extra muscle, and if like that will determine, right, if you've built that much muscle in this amount of time, okay, this is how much time you probably need to be competitive.
Yeah, just a bit of a learning game. And I always think as well, like once you've got your legs lean, it like I feel like they don't get like fat the same way again once they've been really lean once.
Yeah. And I don't feel like I've ever been really lean in my lower body. I feel like my legs look exactly like they did in my off season. So like I feel like, yeah, we got a little bit of a glute and ham tie, but like I had so much fat left on that. Like I had so much fat left on my legs. Like, but if you actually look at my auntie and my grandma, they have like very wide hips and very big legs as well. So I think I kind of get that from them. Which what was that? Sorry.
So I think it's like genetically a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. But again, I would be curious to see a glute and ham tie. Like I want to see that, especially with.
Exciting though.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So
Yeah.
it'll be good to kind of, because obviously we're going to focus so much on training, because I feel like that's one thing that I definitely started to lose love for towards the end, because I was hip
Yes.
hopping. And yeah, definitely excited for the new approach, because I feel like she's got more of like her and Cuba have, I think, a bit more of a modernized approach when it comes to coaching, whether I
Yes.
definitely think Tom is old school, which I absolutely love, but I just need like a fresh, I almost just
Yeah.
need to see what I prefer in a way. Like I just need to kind of go, what do
Yeah.
I actually get the most out of, old school or new school?
And it'll probably be interesting for you having a female coach as well.
This is exactly why I went for a female coach, because I was like, I feel like I need someone who knows exactly what I'm going through.
From like a hormone and a health perspective as well, obviously that'll be good.
Exactly that. So yeah, that's me. I'm now
Exciting. I can't
I'm
wait to see how
part
it goes.
Me too. I'm so excited. I'm really excited. I've got my first training session today.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna die, because I don't think even my glute and hamstring days are as rough
Yeah.
as what she's made them. Like I read that out and I was like, oh shit, that's actually gonna be quite hard.
Yeah. Be interesting though. Be cool to see.
Exactly. But enough about me. How is your prep going? How many weeks out a week? Give us a good old update, even though you are updating us on the LFP membership and community side
I
of it.
am so go join it now. So I am 13 and a half weeks out.
That's crazy.
I know. Do you think it's gone super fast? Because I think it has.
Because you were doing like a 20-week,
Yeah,
right?
I'm nearly 7 weeks in.
Yeah, and that's almost halfway.
I know.
That's gone
Wow.
really quick.
It has, hasn't it?
Although,
Yeah.
thinking about it, I was saying to Reese the other day, I feel like my post-show phase has gone really quick as well.
Yeah, I think that as well. Just the last few months. So
Just absolutely. But to be fair, they've been quite busy for both of us. Like they've been busy for you in the sense of like work, events, like life.
yeah, but I'm glad it's been busy because I just feel like I just get stuck in there and I'm not like focusing on prep. I'm just like doing prep.
Exactly. Like you're not preppy at all yet, which is
Oh,
great.
I'm absolutely
Like
fine.
you
I feel
look.
great.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I feel like you're at your prime within prep, aren't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I feel like when I lose them first few pounds, like I feel more confident. Like I'm really like I feel really good with how I look at the minute. Like my training's still great. I'm not like I'm a bit hungry. Like now I'm like, oh yeah, I could eat a meal now, but I'm not like at the point where I'm, oh my god, I'm gonna die if I don't eat in 10 minutes.
Nah, just talk, please, because I can't do this.
So I feel like I'm at the nice stage of prep. But I've got my check-in tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. But I have Dan
I was
did
like, hold on a
mention,
minute, we've never spoken about Daddy Hollingsworth.
Dan did mention last week.
Good old dad.
Oh God, that we might start carb cycling.
Okay.
Like get things moving, because I said to Dan last week in my check-in, I was like, I just feel like I should be doing more. I feel like I'm not doing enough cardio, like I'm not hungry, I feel like everything's like too easy almost.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but it's working, like you're losing weight, you don't need to do any more. He was like, if you really want it, like we can push a bit more now and back off later, but he said we don't really need to. So I was like, that's fine, I'm just putting it out there, like I'm happy doing cardio every day.
You almost want to say to them, like,
I'm ready to.
don't be scared to think that, don't be scared to make changes because you think it's going to be rough. I'm genuinely fine. Make the changes.
Which I don't think Dan would do anyway, because he's very much like, here, what you're doing, get on with it type thing
Yeah,
anyway.
just fucking go with it.
But I just, because I'm only doing 4 half an hour's cardio, right?
Mm.
And my food, so in the whole pretty much 7 weeks now, so it'll be 7 weeks tomorrow that I've been on prep, because my prep was like 20 and a half weeks. So in the whole time, I've had one change from the start in my food and my cardio.
That's crazy.
I know. So we had the initial drop with prep when obviously I had a couple of cardio sessions in, I had my food lowered, my free calories went, my off-plan meal went. And then I had about 3 weeks ago, maybe, or maybe 4 weeks ago, I had another 2 cardios added, my steps went to 13k and my food got dropped. And it was literally like some peanut butter got taken out. So it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then it
That
stayed.
is such a sad thing. Peanut butter.
No, it is. And I always look at it in the cupboard and I'm like, sad times.
Sad times.
But yeah, that was it. So we've had one change. And like even this week, so I did just weigh myself this morning just to see. So I was like, I do feel a bit leaner, because I only normally weigh myself once a week, but I weighed myself. And I'm still like nearly 2 pounds down from last week. So it is still moving.
This is it. Like one thing, like it's one of those. It's really good to see, because I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember if I mentioned this to you before. Considering how your last diet went, I was actually quite worried. Like, I
Same.
wouldn't say worried. I was a bit almost like, oh, this is gonna be a really tough prep because
I
my
thought it
body
was going to
is,
be.
yeah. And it's really just turned out to be the opposite. So like almost just like take a deep breath and go, cool, this is working. Like it's good that I
Yeah.
feel this way. And I feel like, you know what, I think it's because your stress levels are so much lower. I
I
feel
was
like,
literally just going to say, I feel like the most content and like the happiest I've been in like as long as I can remember. Because I just feel like, I feel like that's me such difference, but I feel like I always put so much pressure on myself with business to like always be doing more, always be getting more clients, like just to always be progressing. And then like I'd have to be getting up at like 5 o'clock to get everything. Did you see it? Yeah, you know that post I put on Instagram, that story? I got so many replies and like comments on that, just being like, oh, I'm really glad you've said this, like I'm the same, or like
yeah,
this is like so true. But you know, when this like, whole thing on Instagram about like the work, the productivity thing, where it's like you have to be getting up at 5 a.m. and doing everything, and then you start work at 6, and then your check-ins are done by like 8 a.m. And I'm
yeah,
like, I get up at 6, which I think is pretty early,
I
but
do.
I do my walk, I do my cardio, I have a shower, I have my coffee, like before I sit down and work. And I used to have this whole thing of like, I'm lazy because I'm not starting work till like 8:30 in the morning.
I
And
honestly, I resonate with that so much as well. Like when I saw it, I think I reacted to it as well.
yeah, you did.
I was just like, I did a post about Lanzarote, you know, about how coaches go away on holiday and they're like, work harder than me, bro. I'm still working whilst I'm out here.
Yeah,
And
it's
like
just
you
what,
do, you feel guilty. You're like, well, if they're working, why aren't I working? In reality, like it's quality over quantity every
yeah,
single time. And it's like
yeah,
if you can't provide a quality service whilst you're out there, just say to your clients, look, I'm taking a week off, I'm back to normal.
yes,
It's
exactly.
as simple as that. Like, if you're not
Agree.
providing them with the same service, why provide them with any service at all? But also, you need time to almost just like sit back and go, I don't have any work to do. This is lovely.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Breathe. And then when you come back, you're fresh and then you're good for another 6 months.
Exactly. And I feel like I got in this trap of like being like, I always need to be getting more clients, I always need to be doing something,
Yeah.
where it's like, actually, I've been like
You're
spending
earning
more time
enough
at home.
money to live a
Yeah,
good life.
exactly.
You've got
Yeah,
time for yourself, you know, like,
yeah,
yes, you want to continuously progress, but I also think people also think like, the more clients, obviously you need more clients to earn money, when in reality, like how you get, you can't always take, it can't always be time versus money. You do have to make it so you earn some sort of passive income if you want to increase money.
yeah, long term, because obviously we've only got so much time.
Exactly. So
Um,
it's like, I do genuinely think that, you know, like especially in the mornings, is you'll see a lot of coaches like getting up before everyone else. And if that works for you, I think great. You love waking up at that time. But for me and you, for you as well, like it's just not what we like to do, and that's fine. Like,
yeah,
so what matters if I finish work at 12 and you finish at 10? Nothing. It doesn't
yeah.
matter. But we
But
put that pressure.
exactly. And I feel like this is the first time ever that I've been okay with that and I've not like beaten myself up for it. And it's like I watch Netflix at night before I go to bed. Like I read my book. Like I never used to do that because I'd be like 8 o'clock and I'd be like, well, I've got 2 more hours where I could do some more work. And it's
It's
like actually I feel
balancing.
so much more just happier generally day to day because I'm actually like, oh, I'm excited to like read my book tonight or watch my program I've been watching.
Yeah.
And it's been so
Quality
much
of life
better.
as well. Like it's like
Yeah,
people always go about like got to be earning more money, but then it's like, but what are you doing with that money? Like you're gonna look back at your life and go, yes, cool, I was earning, I don't know, 10, 15,
exactly.
20 grand a month. But I actually pretty, I won't lie to you, I really hated what, like I loved what I was doing, but I actually, my quality of life was pretty poor.
Yeah, exactly. And don't get me wrong, like I'm still very much like I want to grow my business. I want to be very
But
comfortable. I
you're
want to
just
do well.
more,
I want to make a name for myself, but I want to be happy while I'm doing it as well.
exactly,
You know?
exactly. It's because everyone
So
wants to run before they can walk. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, if you just slow down and just actually take a breath, like you'll actually find that more of the work that you produce and more of the ideas that you kind of do will actually work out. Like I remember when I first started my business and there were so many little packages that I offered, half of them didn't even sell. Like for example, the starter posing package or whatever. I sold one of those, but that's because I was trying to generate so much work.
yeah,
And it's like it was such a quick turnaround. I thought about it a week before, got it out a week after. I just didn't put enough work into it. So it's like certain things where you like you just need to enjoy life, take time slowly rather than trying to like rush things and trying to
Yeah,
be ahead of everyone.
exactly. So I think that's massively helped because I just feel like I'm getting more sleep, like I'm just chilled. Yeah, life's just good really.
I said
So
to you before we jumped on here, I was like, you seem like a completely different person.
yeah, I feel loads better.
Just your like aura you can feel is more positive and less
Yeah.
stressful. Like, it sounds really weird because I'm over camera, but like I've known you long enough now to kind of know little
And I
tendencies.
do stress quite easily about things and get quite worked up in my own head.
Yeah. So it's quite nice to see you more chilled. So, piece of
Yeah,
advice, guys, for a successful prep or just life, just learn to remember yourself first
yeah,
before.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, so that's made a fab difference. So I'm £10 down now, which is exciting.
Wow,
I know.
that's
Yeah.
really good. How much did you weigh for show day? Like, what was the lowest weigh-in that you got for prep last time?
It was £124 I got down to, but by the time I got on stage, I was like 127-ish. So I'm 145 at the minute. So I'm
Cool.
not miles off. I
Yeah,
think I've
but
got
you
about
would
another
hope that you weigh.
£15.
Are you going for a leaner look or are you going for the same kind of look? Because that will obviously determine where you might sit in terms of weight with your added muscle.
I think Dan said he wants a slightly heavier weight this time.
Yeah.
So we're probably looking maybe, I don't know, £3. So maybe I'll be down to like 127, but then by the time we fill up a bit, it'll be like 130-ish.
Yeah, so
So
you ain't got much like you've obviously
miles.
got it's weird, right? Because it's like looking at you, you're not stage lean, but
No,
as soon
no way.
as you reach that point of being lean, it's like it's
Yeah,
even
it
a
just
quarter of
goes.
a pound is like a new line.
Yeah. And I can definitely like I can see it, especially around my stomach. I feel like it is starting to come off a bit. So I reckon we've got about another 15 to 20-ish pounds to pull off.
That's good.
So
That'll be easy.
yeah, so we'll see. I feel like tomorrow I just have a feeling Danny's going to start carb cycling me, which means basically what he normally does, you have like low days and high days, and then he'll run it, and you have cardio on all your low days. So he'll run normally he puts in like a solid week or two of low days at the start. So you'll just be cardioing every day, get bang out the low days, and then he'll back off and give you a couple of high days, no cardio, a bit more food, and then you'll go again. And it just kind of alternates. So normally he'll do like a few low days and then a high day and then a few low days, and it just kind of alternates like that. But I have a feeling tomorrow he's going to do that.
I feel like you'd really like I feel like you will love it if that happens. I feel like
I feel
a
like I will
part
as
of you is
well.
also like, oh, low days, but then like part of you is like, you might see more of a shift, which is I think
Yeah.
that you look for. You'll see for visual changes, like more noticeable visual changes, which will probably happen towards the end of the low days, leading into the carb days.
Yes.
So I
And I
feel
think once I start getting below sort of the 140s into the 130s, I think that's when I start to look a little bit like leaner as well.
happier.
Yeah, but I'm excited
It
because I've
is.
got a really good stint. So I've got clients competing in September. So I've got two client shows 2 weekends in a row, and then I've got Will's qualifier show, and then it's the British. So like the month before the show is going to be really exciting anyway, because I'm literally at shows every weekend.
Yeah, and you know what? The busier you are in prep, even though it can be quite stressful, the better your prep goes, purely based on the fact you
Yeah,
don't have time to think that you're hungry.
exactly. So I'm excited, and I've also got a really exciting project what I'm working on at the minute that is going to be launching. What Sania is about. The week after I compete at the British, so that's going to be something really cool. So it's like I've got that to focus on as well.
You've got loads to
So I
sort
just
out for that project as well. So that'll be really cool. Like it'll be good to see that unfold because I feel like a lot of people will benefit from the project.
yes,
Sorry
yeah,
guys,
I'm really excited for it.
we're being a bit what's the word? Um what are we being?
I know what you mean, but I don't know what the word is.
Oh, oh my God, what
Don't
is
you hate it when that happens? When you've like know what you want to say, but you can't think of the word.
we're not being descriptive at all. We're trying to get you to decipher, but that's not the word that I'm looking for. We're being we're giving you clues. No, I have no idea. It's gone. I have no idea.
Anyway,
Anywho, you guys won't be able to guess it, but there's nothing out there like it in the market, so that's exactly what you guys need.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So
That's
yeah, so that's it. I don't really have much to report because everything's still the same as it was like 3 weeks ago.
that's the problem I feel like with the start of prep. Like it doesn't really the ball doesn't really
Boring.
start to get rolling until you're like 10 weeks out, and then there are more changes because it's visual changes, or it's like obviously your coach does have to check you. I bet you in like 3, maybe 4 weeks time you'll be checking in more regularly with Dan as well.
Yeah, I think normally he goes to like twice weekly check-ins normally once you start carb cycling,
Yeah,
I think, or maybe a few weeks in. So I reckon maybe from 10ish weeks out, probably be doing check-ins a couple of times a week, because then he decides on the day like whether you're going to carry on with low days until the next check-in or whether you're going to put a high day in.
exactly that. So I have a feeling there'll be more changes like later on. But that's exciting though, because I feel like with the podcast studio as well, like there'll be more updates to kind of
Yes.
go through as well. So it will essentially like give you guys like you could be full updates rather than yeah, this week not much has changed, just lost a couple of pounds. It'll be more like, oh my God, so
Yeah,
much.
exactly. And I feel like there's so many exciting things coming up, because obviously there's like my client shows, there's obviously like my shows, like I'm going to Spain to compete, then there's like your event, what I'm coming
When
to,
are you going to
and
Spain,
then
by the way?
it's the 5th of November.
5th of November.
Yeah, so it's the 5th of 4th and 5th that weekend. So I think we're going to fly out because Will's got 2 friends. So one of our friends just got his IFBB Pro card at the weekend in at the Amateur Olympia.
Is
So
that
they
Kelly?
all flew out. Pardon?
Who is that?
Luca Pola.
Luca Paul.
It's just men's bodybuilding.
Oh no.
Anyway, he looked really good. He looked really good. So they all went to watch him. And there's like a group of 6 of us that are like friends.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to go because Matt's a PCA pro.
Yeah.
And then obviously Will's competing.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be competing. So I think we're going to all go and get like somewhere together in Spain and go the week before so we can like chill for the week. So
Well, you'll have to
yeah,
whereabouts in Spain is it?
Malaga.
Cause maybe I'll see if I can come. Like I'll see if someone can come with me. Cause I know recently
Yeah,
I was sent down to like go for another
that would
trip.
be so cool.
And we'd go for like the weekend because it's like 2.5 hour, two
Yeah,
hour
because
plane. It's not long.
obviously Hannah's competing as well. Oh, Jodie's going to be competing. So I was going to speak to them and see if we can get like maybe a villa, but get some that are like near each other, like in the same complex, so we can like all be kind of together. So you should do that and just come and stay in the same like vicinity.
Yeah, no, like obviously keep me updated on like what you're doing and stuff. Sorry guys, we're just planning our November trip on the podcast. But that would be really cool because I'd absolutely love to watch an international show. Obviously, I was part of an international show, but
Yeah.
I feel like it'll be different to watch one, which would be quite cool. And it's PCA as well,
Yeah.
so perfect.
Yes, it'll be a good show. So I just feel like there's a lot of nice things going on. And then obviously we've got like some bikini fittings coming up, and I'm getting those filmed as well for YouTube. And then there's like, I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of good things at the minute to focus on. And me and Dan have just started talking about plans after this year as well, which is exciting in terms of like where we want to go with things.
Oh, you
That's
haven't
gonna be
updated
fun.
me on that, so you'll have to update me on that
Yeah,
soon.
I feel like I've got a bit of an idea, but we're going to basically see how this year goes first, because obviously that'll determine if we go into a prep soon or if we think actually no, we need to have a bit of time off to like grow to be competitive again.
Okay, in the same federation. Yeah.
Yes, but I've got plans on something else as well.
That's exciting though. It's exciting. You know what? Like it's really good when you have plans in place. And I feel like almost just to kind of like link it to that for the viewers, I feel like having, even if it's not fully instilled, having some sort of goal and direction that you can work towards regardless of it being set in stone really does help you in terms of like your progression. Like if you're just going, oh yeah, like I might compete, you're never gonna compete. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like you almost going, right, in 2024 I want to do this, or in 3 months time I'm going to aim towards this, or I'm going to do that. Having just something in a pencil in the notebook where you can rub it off if worst case scenario. But it just, I feel like mentally it helps you give like it helps with some sort of clarity in like the direction of what you're doing at the gym, with your training, with your nutrition. Like it just gives you a reason for everything.
Yeah, it like drives you forward a little bit more. Like even if you're not competing and you're like, right, okay, I'm going to spend 6 months and I'm going to really work on building some muscle for 6 months. Like it can literally be as simple as that.
Exactly. And just having like that's one thing with Meg as well, actually, which I thought was really helpful because it really will help me kind of like direct it. It's every month, like you have to write, what is it? So she has like timeline, but then every month, at the beginning of every month, you have to list at least 3 goals for this month. So
Well,
like
that's good.
yeah, so for example, my first month goals are get back into routine post holiday, no snacking between meals and stick to plan, and set decent numbers with new training. And then
Yeah.
she goes like, how long will it take me to go towards these goals? So let's say for example, instead of it being within the month goals, let's say next month I go to compete in 2025 and to be a
Yeah.
really high competitor. I will then say that's going to take me 2 years to do.
Mhm.
So it just allows you to set new goals every month, and I really feel like me making sure that I get back into routine and actually writing it down has
Yes.
has already set some accountability because I've written it now. I can't
Yeah.
just get rid of it, like it's
Yeah.
there.
It's there. It's down on
So
paper.
things like that is like I didn't realize I needed.
Yeah, it's just a bit more structure and accountability, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. So that like just goal setting, like,
Yeah.
and uh, having someone having access to your goal setting as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
It almost makes you shit yourself a little bit because you have to almost stick to it.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's not just yourself that you're letting down.
Yeah, that's like what I do with my clients. So we have their check-ins, but then they have like a cycle review, which is basically like a goal setting call where we just say, right, what we're doing, what we're aiming towards, the
Yeah.
goals going down. It does work like really well.
Yeah, I like for me, it's worked well for me already. Like I'm already like right.
Come on then, let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Do you know? It's
Yeah.
almost like because I'm so competitive. I'm like, well, I've written it down now. I can't not
Yeah.
do it. Whether if it was in my head, and let's say for example, it was in my head, but I never told Tom about it, I'd go, oh well,
No one knows.
no one knows exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah.
out there, so it's
Yeah.
it's like a good little personal way where not everyone knows, but the right people know that
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck up.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else to update these guys on? I don't think like there's anything on my side.
No, same. I think we've been chatting for about 50 minutes, so it's been quite a lot.
Yeah, we just love to chat shit, don't we? But I feel like I
But
feel like these ones do the best though because we just chat absolute shit.
but they're all exciting stuff, and also, yeah, the next one, I can't believe we're actually
Our
going to
last
shoot.
Zoom potentially, unless the
Yes.
podcast studio's shite, and then we're like, right, quickly jump on a Zoom call.
Hopefully it's all right though. So we'll see. We'll see this weekend what goes on.
You know what? I'm not worried about the podcast studio itself. I'm worried about our technical ability to actually.
I'm very worried about that. I hope there's a person there that shows us how to do it, because how are you meant to figure it out?
You know what?
Maybe it hasn't.
YouTube it.
There's got to be a person there, hasn't there? Because someone's got to let you in, surely.
Yeah, I think there'll be someone there. But what I'm thinking is obviously we're going to get SD cards for the microphone, and then we just need to somehow, which I think will be, I feel like I know how to do it already, but we are going to film it as well, obviously for YouTube. But I feel like it's the lip syncing.
Right. Yeah, I get you.
It's the lip syncing.
Surely they'll know how to do that though.
No, but we have to do it because they just do the audio. We are videoing it ourselves. So we have to get the audio from the audio and the video. We have to take the video audio off to then match up with the other audio. Do you get me?
Or we could just use the audio from the camera from the video for the YouTube one. And then you wouldn't have to do that.
But if we can, because the audio quality will be so much better.
Okay, we'll give it a go and we'll see what happens. If anyone's got any tips,
So just SOS, someone help us. But yes, anyway, should we finish it there?
Yeah, all good. It's been a good catch up.
So we'll pop some question boxes out ASAP on who you want as a guest. We were thinking, we haven't asked her yet, so we're going to put her on the spot if she listens to this. We're thinking of bringing Nat in on as one of our guests to just talk you through bikinis, makeup, like everything like that. She literally does fucking everything. So we thought and she's hilarious as well. She's an absolute lad. She's honestly, it's ridiculous. So I feel like she would work pretty well because we all talk like pretty much daily anyway. So we were thinking of bringing her in, but any type of topic you want us to cover, like obviously please note that we want to bring guests in that obviously we already kind of affiliate ourselves with, in the sense of we don't just want someone random who's completely new to us. Make sure we follow them, make sure you've maybe seen us interact with them before, because obviously that means that we can actually have like an actual, instead of it being an interview and quite boring, we can have a conversation with them.
Yeah, and have a laugh and stuff.
Exactly like that. So yeah, let us know. And yeah, we'll see you guys for the next one, I suppose.
Go and follow our Instagram page.
Oh yes, please do that. It's actually growing quite nicely, which is quite cool. All right, see you later, guys.
Thanks, guys.